Hello, everybody. I am Morticia Stewart, and tonight is sushi night. Now, as a vegan, I pretty much never go out to get sushi. And the reason is because most of the time that means I am paying a very high price for rice and veg. And then I'm hungry again and I have to get something on the way home. So if I'm craving sushi like I am today, I just make it here at home. Now, what I'm going to show you guys is different fillings that you can use for when you make vegan sushi at home so that you have some protein, you feel full, you get the full experience of having a real kind of sushi experience, whatever that means, with different kinds of sauces, different kind of flavors, different kind of textures that we don't always get if we're going to a non-vegan sushi place as vegans. So, like I've already said, I am Morticia Stewart. Come along with me while we make a bunch of different fillings for our sushi. Since my channel is fairly new, I am always just trying different camera angles, different kind of things. I also don't have a ton of storage in my kitchen. So if you notice that there's seemingly like clutter, I just truly have nowhere else to put it. So I've already made my sushi rice. That's already vegan. You can find tons of people who can show you how to make sushi rice. Super, super simple. We've already got that. Now we have to go on to our different fillings. The first thing we're going to make together, the lighting is very nice, eh? The first thing we are going to make together is like a fish, just like a generic kind of fishy sort of flavor. I'm going to show you guys the marinade. We're going to throw our tofu in that so that can chill out while we make all of our other stuff. Bonus is you don't have to cook a lot of stuff if you're going to be making sushi. Not no stuff, you'll see a little bit later, but less stuff. So let's get going on our tofu. So we're going to go in with a little bit of miso. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon of miso. And then we've got our rice wine vinegar. Nope. Seasoned gourmet rice vinegar. It's not rice wine vinegar. But anyways, we want some acidity and some umami. Now, I'm also going to add in some nutritional yeast for that umami. But we don't need to add in a fishy flavor because what we would do as vegans is we would add seaweed, but there's already going to be seaweed in the sushi or wrapping around the sushi. So we really don't even need that. So we're not going to do that. That's an added step we don't have to do. And I'm not really about that. I started a new job this week and it's kind of kicking my butt. So we're going to go sushi easy mode. This is actually a brand new bottle of rice vinegar. I just went to the Asian grocery store and picked it up. We're going to do maybe like 2.5 tablespoons of our vinegar. And that came out to be about a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. I buy this big old jug of nutritional yeast because I use it in essentially every single recipe. Every day I'm using this. So something this big definitely comes in handy. And then you're just going to mix it up. Try and get what's left on the spoon off of here. Time to grab our tofu. So I'm just going to press this out. And then we're going to just slice it into like little thin slices. That way it's easy to roll. So this guy's kind of thick, so we're gonna cut it and then cut it again. So and then we're just gonna toss it in here and just gently mix it around. You want to coat every piece. This is our fishy tofu. The lighting is killing me. We've got our fishy tofu. Now I'm going to just set this to the side and get cracking on our next thing. On to our next thing. This is a sweet potato. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the sweet potato. I'm going to boil it till it's mostly cooked. And then we're going to batter it and fry it with some panko breadcrumbs. And that is going to be a sushi that has a little bit of crispy, crunchy texture, which is something we don't always get if we're going to a restaurant. So this is nice. This is actually a Japanese sweet potato, which is why it's white on the inside. I'm so sorry about the lighting. There's not a ton that I can do. This is the time I need to eat, and I need to have the windows open because I work from home. And if I don't see the sunshine at least a little bit, I fear I will go insane. So, sorry guys, you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of funky lighting. I'm gonna toss those in the compost. I am gonna cut off this little tail. Oop, on the ground. You know what that means. That is for my dog Aggie now. Here's our little sticks of sweet potato. We've got our pot. Just gonna put a small amount of water in here so that it boils quicker. And we'll get this on the stove to boil. Okay, now I'm going to make our dry mix and our wet mix for when we do need to fry up our sweet potato. Now, if you watched my video on how to do camping egg, if you watched it, you'll know what I'm talking about. We're going to use some of that as our egg for the base. We're going to add some water into it, and then we're going to coat and then put it into the panko. We don't need a lot of seasoning for this because sushi is not something where you need a lot of garlic, a lot of crazy stuff. But what I do use for everything, and this is kind of like my little tip that I'm going to show you guys. I use this all the time. So this is called seasoned salt. Essentially what it is salt and MSG mixed together. If you have a problem with MSG, tell it to your mama. Do some research. MSG is not problematic. It is rooted in racism. That is a conversation for a different day. MSG is amazing. Salt and MSG together is amazing. I don't need to have two different things. I can just have the one. And so this is what I use for everything. So this is going to be going into our panko breadcrumb mix. So this is our egg. I'm doing 2 big tablespoons of this egg. So honestly, more like a quarter cup. And then you just add in half the amount of dry mix. Sorry, you add half the amount of water of dry mix. So I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon. But I'm going in with 2. So this is the consistency. It's a little thick, which we want. I might add a tiny bit more water. Just a tiny bit more. There we go. So we're just loosening that up a little. Okay, this is our wet mix. Our dry mix is just panko. Pretty simple. And then I'm going in with my seasoned salt. I'm coming down here to talk to you guys now. So our sweet potatoes are done boiling. They are fork tender, which means when I stab them, they kind of like fall off. And that's what we want because it's not going to take a long time in the fryer for them to crisp up. And if you undercook them, biting into uncooked potato, not for me. So we want to make sure that these are really cooked all the way through. So they are. Now I'm just going to strain them, let them dry, cool down a little bit, and then we're going to fry them. So our oil is heating up. We're letting our sweet potatoes cool because I don't want to handle them while they're hot. So the next step, once they have cooled down, we are just going to batter them, fry them, set them on some paper towel, and let those chill out while we move on to our final filling. Presumably, if you're going to be having sushi, you have wooden chopsticks. Or you could just have like a wooden stir stick, anything that's wood. So this is my tip on how to figure out if your oil is hot enough to fry. You stick these inside, and if it bubbles, it's ready to go. If it doesn't, it's not. Dip it in this. dip it in this. Get it nice and covered in the panko. And then we drop it in the oil. Here are our crispy sweet potatoes. If you can hear right over there, I'm still frying up some more, but this is what we have. So we're gonna let these cool. My fingers and my nails are full of panko, but that's okay. So we're gonna let this cool because warm sushi is kind of, in my opinion. Now it's time to make our final filling. I am always reluctant to call things something else because I've seen other vegan creators get just like blasted in the comments of like, if you're vegan, don't call it crab. If you're this, don't call it. It's a lot to handle for other people, and I am very scared of hate comments. But I would call this a spicy crab. I know it's not crab. I know it's tofu. Anyone who makes it knows it's tofu. I'm just trying to explain what it is that I'm about to make. So let me show you how to do that. And some tofu. So you're just going to grate your tofu. We've got our grated tofu. I'm just going to add a little dash of soy sauce, maybe like half a tablespoon, some vegan mayo, probably about 2 tablespoons, three, two, three, up to you. Hot sauce. You can use sriracha or any kind of like Asian inspired hot sauce, but this is just what I have. I have a Scotch bonnet sauce, so that is what I'm going to use. Use whatever you want. I would say when it comes to measuring hot sauce, I'm not going to give you a measurement. Add a lot if you like it really spicy. Add a little if you only like it a little bit spicy. Don't add it at all if you don't want it spicy. It's really, truly up to you. Then we're just going to mix this all up together. Be careful not to break up your tofu too much. It doesn't really matter. I just like the mouthfeel of the shredded tofu. 1, 2, 3. These are going to be our 3 main components for our sushi. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am going to be eating my sushi now. So good. If you like this video, comment down below, like, subscribe. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers. I am loving doing this. Thank you so much to everybody who comments, who likes, sticky rice. It is sticky rice. Check out this vegan sushi. Woo, baby. It's really good.